Video, I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of filling with color, saving everything out, and flattening it as a JPEG so you can upload it to Schoology. So as you can see here, my shoe is done. I got all my characters in. I can put some cool colors. Found an extra Avengers logo in there. So essentially, it's all done and ready to go. Now, I did want to talk about filling items with color. So for example, we wanted to go, we had this background color right here, the blue. But as you can see here, I have all these layers. Okay, this is my PSD file. So I want to make sure, first off, I hit Command Save. Okay, if this ever pops up, you always want to save to your computer. And you would go Nike shoe in your folder and .psd. As long as you have .psd, you're good to go. So you hit Save. Okay, so now you're ready to flatten and save it as a JPEG. Okay, but before that, I wanted to talk about how to do some color filling in your shoe. Okay, so for example, let's go back here and just add some white spots. Okay, so if you wanted to add some colors, as you can see, I did some right here. You would go to your particular piece like this one. And there's a really cool tool like I talked before. As you can see, I have red and blue selected right here. Okay, so I'm going to go up and I can just turn that selection on, don't forget. And then I want to go Edit Fill. And it'll fill it with a solid color. Now that's great, but let's say you want to add a little more oomph to it. There's a really cool tool right here called the Gradient Tool. Okay, so if you click on it, you now can see up top the controls open for it. And you will see you have some controls for your gradient tool. You can actually go in and do your gradient from left to right, circular, this cool pointy one, and this way. I would just say select them and just mess with them and see what happens, okay? There's also choices here for different colors. As you can see, I have my foreground and background color selected as a default, but there's a whole bunch of different colored ones that you can choose from that are preloaded if you want. But we're just going to stick with the one that I have of my foreground and my background color. And I'm going to use the linear gradient. So what you need to do is I'm going to click here and then drag all the way over. Now watch what happens. If I click outside here and drag all the way to the end, there's my gradient. Now it's from blue to red. So let's say I want to go the other way. I would click over on this side and then you'll see it's the opposite. Now you can also do a real short click like this. If I click right here and do a short one, look what happens. It's a more drastic, cutoff between the two colors. You can also click up here and go down. So there's so many different ways you can do it. So just experiment and have fun. I also showed you can go up here into the corner and pick the gradient right here, the circular, and you can go like this, and it looks like a circle, obviously. That's why it's called circular. And you can just do some really cool effects with some colors. So that's really how you would select a piece. You could select your background and fill it with a color. You could also, just do edit fill. You can fill in items, color items. You can even go, so now I'm done with that one. Let's click on this layer here. You can actually do something cool with what's called your brush tool. So your brush tool is right here, as you can see. So we're going to click that brush tool and you'll see this big circle. This is the control on how big the brush is going to be. So if I just click right now, you can see I can sit here and color these spaces in. But let's go make sure we select it first so it doesn't spill out. So if I hold control and click, you have different controls. So check this out. I can go small brush, okay? Or I can go real big brush, as you can see. Now there's another feature too called hardness and softness. The hardness is 0, so it has this little halo around. It's nice and soft. Or drag your hardness to 100% and it's a hard line. Okay. So why would you want to use this tool? Because you can have a little bit of fun with it. Okay. For example, you do a little gradient of your own. I'm going to color right here and maybe a little bit right here. Then I'm going to go over and switch the color to red and kind of fill that in. So you can go and do some, really cool effects on your own, okay? And figure that out for yourself. But now we're all done. Project's ready to go. As you can see, we got a ton of layers here. I'm going to hit Command Save one more time because I just made all those changes. I Command Save. Okay. So now it is saved as a Photoshop document as we saw previously in my folder. So now I want to smush all this, okay, and save it as a JPEG. So go up here and you go to Layer, and it's all the way at the bottom. Okay, flatten image. And as you can see, all your layers are gone. That's all you have now. And like I said before, you can't really make changes here anymore. See, it's all stuck as one big image. Okay. But that's fine because we're only using this to upload to our websites, upload to Schoology, and be able to share it with your friends. So we want to go all the way up back to here and save that second file. And go File, okay? Please do not hit Save, okay? Because you will lose all of your layers. Remember, we want to save it as something else because we need to make a second copy. So I want to hit Save As. Now you're going to see here these options will show up. You have Photoshop, okay? Because that's the document it used to be. So we're going to scroll down till we hit JPEG, okay? And then I'm going to go over here, make sure it's in the folder, so it says Nike Shoe, and I'm going to hit Save. Now you're going to see this panel come up like you always do for JPEG. Image options. I like hitting number 12 maximum, large file. Shows you the size, 907K. It's totally fine. And then I'm just going to hit OK. So let me zoom out. I hit OK, and I'm going to go check. Let's take a look. Here are my two finished shoes. Here's the one that's a PSD. And here's the one that's a JPEG that I'm going to upload to Schoology. So that's it. Congratulations. You have your own custom Nike Air Force One shoe.